What do you get when you mix jobs, trivia, and a pair of podcast hosts ready for a challenge? That's right, it's game time. Get ready to join the fun on this episode of Career Chats with Katie and Robin.
Happy Friday, Robin.
Happy Friday, Katie.
Are you ready for game time?
Yeah, let's do it.
So today I wanted to pick out careers that would make for great part-time work.
Ooh.
Yeah, these options could be good for somebody who needs to go to school and work at the same time. These options could be good for a stay-at-home parent who wants to start getting back into the workforce. I just thought this was a good thing to highlight.
Definitely. I'm excited.
Yeah. So today we're going to play kind of like two truths and a lie, but I'm going to read you more than two things. I mean, more than three things. Basically, I'm going to read you a list of things and you're going to tell me which one I'm lying about.
No, you're requiring my memory to do a lot of heavy lifting here.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So the first one are umpires, referees, and other sports officials. So umpires, referees, and other sports officials preside over competitive athletic or sporting events to help maintain standards of play and safety. Part-time and seasonal work is common for these jobs. Schedules may vary, though, and then they often work irregular hours that can include evening, weekends, and holidays, basically whenever the events are happening. Outdoor games might include all weather conditions. So requirements for umpires, referees, and other sports officials typically vary by state and local sports associations. Although some positions have no formal education requirements, others may actually require a high school diploma. The median annual wage in May of 2022 was $49,100, and it is projected to grow 10% over the next decade. And there's about 5,000 job openings each year for this. So what's the lie? What am I lying about?
I think you're lying about the wage.
Do you think I said it was too high or too low?
Oh, no. I just have to tell you the lie. I do think it's high, but that is not the game.
You're correct. The median annual wage was just over $36,000.
That makes more sense. Especially for part-time work. Like, that's still great for part-time work.
Yeah, $36,000. Okay, you did great. You did great.
Okay. Whew.
The next one is kind of an overarching term. These are recreation workers. I really wanted to include this one in today's episode because I remember when my kids were younger and I took them to swim class at the local rec center. Most of these teachers were all moms who taught there during the school hours.
Nice.
They'd teach fitness classes, or they would teach swimming, or they'd be lifeguards, or they'd even work at the front desk. Also, there was lots of like preschool programs to work at. Plus, I really wanted to mention lifeguards. It was hard for me to find specific data, but I know they're in such demand right now.
Yeah.
And they're a great option for part-time work. I know like at our local YMCA, they have a 9-to-1 shift. You could drop your kids off, go work a 9-to-1 shift, get cleaned up, and go pick up your kids.
Nice.
So anyway, let's get to the details. Recreation workers design and lead activities to help people stay active, improve fitness, and have fun. Recreation workers are employed in a variety of settings, including your local rec center, parks, summer camps, and even nursing and residential care facilities. Many workers spend time being physically active in the outdoors. Education and training requirements for recreation workers vary with the type of job, but workers typically will need a high school diploma or the equivalent and a few weeks of training. The median annual wage for recreation workers was $31,000 in May of 2022. Employment is projected to grow 15% over the next decade. And there are lots of openings, about 61,700 each year projected.
Oh.
What's the lie?
Okay, I have an answer, and it better be right or else.
You're going to do great.
I'm going to say the education, because I actually was a recreation worker. While I was still in high school, I worked for the park as like a summer park counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not have a high school diploma. So I'm going to say that's the lie.
Okay, so that's also true, like you doing that. Like camp counselors can be in high school, but since we're doing overall, that's not correct.
Nope. If there's a second lie, then I'm thinking it's the growth rate. But I'm still calling your bluff.
You are correct that in high school there are job opportunities, but I was lying about the growth rate. It is growing, but just a little bit over average, 5%, not 15%.
I get 2 points for that question.
Yeah, you're fine.
Go, Robin.
But this is a job that like there's gonna always be openings as long as you live in a town that has school children or elderly people, like
Or people.
well, yes.
You don't have to be young or old to go recreate.
But you know what I mean. There will always be before aftercare, aftercare for schools. There always will be summer camps.
Yeah.
Those aren't going anywhere.
Exactly.
That's why I was highlighting them. Okay. Next up, we have passenger vehicle drivers.
Passenger vehicle.
Yes, that's what they call them. Passenger vehicle drivers. Yeah.
Wait, are they the passenger or are they the driver? What is this term, Katie?
It means that you're driving passengers in vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Passenger vehicle drivers.
We need to talk to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics and give them a branding expert for these job titles.
Yeah.
Because some of them are ridiculous.
It's a little, yeah. So you might operate a bus or a taxi or another mode of transportation to take people from place to place. Most passenger vehicle drivers will work full time, but part work is very common, so I wanted to include them. Drivers' schedules may vary, and some work weekends, evenings, early mornings. School bus drivers will only work when school's in session. Bus drivers typically need a high school diploma or equivalent. Other types of passenger vehicle drivers typically have no formal educational requirements. Most passenger vehicle drivers get brief on-the-job training. Additionally, all drivers need a regular driver's license, and some may need a special one depending on the type of vehicle they drive. The median annual wage for passenger vehicle drivers was $53,400 in May of 2021. Overall, the projected growth rate is 12%, and there are a lot of job openings, 130,000-ish projected each year. So, what do you think here?
Ooh, I'm torn between the salary and the growth rate. I'm going to go with the salary. I think that's the lie.
Do you think it was too high or too low?
I think it was a little too high.
You're correct. The median annual wage is actually only $37,000.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
Yeah. And I know my lie was about the salaries, but I also know some areas of the country are so desperate for bus drivers that they're giving sign-on bonuses. So perhaps that's not going to be as accurate where you live.
Sure.
Next up is a childcare worker. So childcare workers attend to children's needs while helping to foster early development. You will typically work in a childcare center or your own home or in a private home, like somebody else's home. Part-time work is really common, so are irregular hours. Education and training requirements for childcare workers vary by setting, state, and employer. They range from no formal education to certification in early childhood education. The median hourly wage for childcare workers was almost $14 per hour in May of 2022, which works out to be just shy of $30,000 a year. It is projected to increase by 8% over the next decade. And there are about 153,000 openings projected each year on average.
Okay.
What do you think I'm lying about?
I'm going to go with the growth rate. It feels like people are having less kids. So I'm going to say it's not growing quite that fast.
You're correct. It's actually declining by 2%, which I'm shocked that it's declining, though.
Less people are having kids. There's less need for childcare workers. So, yeah.
So that's that one. But another benefit about becoming a childcare worker is that typically you will get like a discount or maybe even free, depending on what it is, that you can bring your own kids. I see that one posted in the parent groups a lot, too.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right. I have a feeling you're going to be really good at this next one. Let's see if you can remember stuff from a past show.
I don't want to jinx it, but I've got them all right so far.
We're going to talk about pharmacy technicians.
Oh, okay.
Pharmacy techs help pharmacists dispense prescription medication to customers or health professionals. You'll typically work in a pharmacy, including those found in drugstores, general merchandise, grocery stores, or in hospitals. Most will work full-time, but many work part-time, which is why I included it. Pharmacy technicians usually need a high school diploma or equivalent and learn their duties through on-the-job training, or they may complete a post-secondary education program. The median annual wage for pharmacy technicians was just over $50,000 in May of 2022. Employment is projected to grow at 6% over the next decade, and there are about 45,000 openings projected each year on average. What do you remember?
Well, mine was based off of, I think, 2021 stats. And I feel like the wage was lower.
You are correct. The actual salary was $37,790.
Okay.
I also wanted to shout out a few other careers that are conducive to part-time work if you already hold the degree or licensure. So I wanted to mention physical therapists, occupational therapists, massage therapists, lawyers, psychologists, talk therapists, hairstylists, estheticians, realtors. If you already have these degrees, you have a more flexible schedule, or at least you can. You can become like your own boss with a lot of these degrees. So if you are just considering and you think, hey, I might not want to do full-time hours, these are all great options to think about.
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that was fun. And I aced it, plus got my bonus question.
You got 100% plus bonus points. Star student. Loved it.
Well, that was fun. Thanks, Katie.
Thanks for playing, Robin.
Bye.
Bye.
Career Chats is hosted by Katie Huddleston and Robin Coney. Show notes and guest info can be found on our website, careerchats.show. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love you to subscribe and share this podcast with your friends. Until next time, stay curious.